Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. So, we're looking at Sal's Super Easy here. Came in pieces. Hi Leon, my name is Sal. Enjoy your videos. Here's my saw, would not start. Assume there is no spark. I didn't look at the carburetor. I'm sure it needs some love. Also make sure the bar is okay. Thanks, Sal. Okay. So here's what we're starting with. I already started doing some cooking. Turn this down a little bit more and try and use the background filter in the video editor, because I like to be able to hear the radio, but every time I have it on, there's at least one person that has to throw some comment out there about how annoying it is. And yeah. Wow. This is a late model. This is 1981. Sal, I might have been wrong. I might need you to send that starter. I don't have, unless I've got a flywheel that'll fit on here, I don't have this style starter. This uses the nylon starter drum that should be common to the Super 2. I'll be damned. Okay, well, I'll deal with that. Out of everything that got packed up, the starter wasn't part of it. So, looking this over, it's not bad. There's no spark plug in it, but I'm not feeling any rough spots, so yeah. The coil, I just didn't even question. Said I was doing some cooking. I've got the toaster oven set up out front, giving it a nice hour-and-a-half bake at 200 degrees. Everybody's got their own kind of recipe that they like to do. This POS toaster oven that I've got, when you bake, the lowest you can go is 200, which is fine. And the longest you can go on one setting is 90 minutes. So that was my baseline when I first started out, giving it a shot. And it's worked probably at least 90% of the time. So I haven't deviated from that formula. Some guys will go for 2 hours, some will go a little warmer. I wouldn't go much warmer, though. You don't want to melt the damn coil. So anyway, that's my formula. Hour and a half at 200 degrees. Occasionally there's a coil that won't come back, and occasionally they die pretty quickly afterwards. And that means you're just kind of out of luck, I'm afraid, at that point. But we all know how scarce those are, at least any of us that have gone looking for them. So it's worth trying to repair your old one. All right. Now again, I'm not seeing where there's anything too dramatic here. It's very smooth rolling over. I'd like to be able to do a real compression test, but I can't. Say without that starter right now. So I may just have to get through this as much as possible. And oh yeah. Yep, that's fine. Compression's good. So I'm just going to start with the fundamentals here. Again, still get quite a few questions, and it's understandable. Where do you start? So here's a great example. You could have bought this saw, as a fixer, and gotten it in with the parts removed. Get some more stuff out here. So just imagine you get a box or a bag along with your saw. Here's what you got. So where do you start? Well, I just did, doing the best estimate of the compression right here. Now, there's no way for me to do this the right way and get a real compression reading. I just can't. because you can't turn these over with a drill and not damage something or just break the fastener loose, whether it's the clutch or the flywheel nut. So that's out. We can't do that. We can tell the air filter's fairly old. The grommet is rotted out. Remnants of it are right there. So we'll use one of the aftermarket grommets I've got and make that go again. So no big deal there. We can handle that. There's also some debris from it on the nut here. See, that stuff all needs to be cleaned off. You don't want that going on a new grommet. That's pretty common sense there. Fuel hose is rock hard. It's been changed out. It'll move a little bit, but we're going to put some nice fresh Tygon on that. It makes 100% sense to take the time to get this carb out, pressure test it, check the diaphragms. Again, I've got to take this bracket out to clean that up properly with the bench grinder, the wire wheel anyhow. So we'll check that. This sprocket looks pretty good, but see how it's not turning freely? It does, but then it seizes up and starts turning the engine. That bearing under there is drier than a bone, so we need to spin the clutch off and lubricate that bearing. Again, there's not enough wear on this clutch drum to replace it. It's got wear, but it's also got some premature wear. I'll get there in a second. Nothing to go wrong on the drive case cover. Potentially, let me pop the sawdust out of this hole. There was at least one bolt missing because that mounting hole was completely filled up with sawdust, and it was allowing this bracket to move around. Let's see what we've got in here. Yeah, it's what I was afraid of. So here's one of the mounting screws. Okay. It's not as loose as I thought it would be, but that's something you want to check. But one of these was missing, so that upper one, go ahead and we'll get that replaced. The spark plug lead is in the bag. That looks okay, but there's the grommet that's supposed to go on that, and you can see how mushy, soft, and nastola that is. So that's going to get replaced. Bar plates both here. That's the outer. Okay. So we're missing the inner bar plate. I'll make sure that's not still sitting on Sal's bench also. Wanted me to make sure the bar was okay. And I can tell you straight up it's not. That damage is way too deep there. I can't maintain the profile of the bar and grind that much material off. So, and it's bent. I don't know if the camera will catch that. I could have fixed that bend. I think that might catch that hook. I could have fixed that pretty well. But with that amount of hammering damage down here, this bar is completely toast. So we'll be looking for one of those. And I said something about premature sprocket wear. This is the chain. Came in the box. That is 3/8 low profile. This is some Oregon 91. That is not appropriate for this saw. This saw is supposed to run 3/8 full, regular standard, not low profile. So that's part of the premature wear on the sprocket there. And ouch. Damn. I think I might have impaled myself with one of these damn bar teeth. Say you can tell that they don't ride properly on that sprocket either. So, improper chain probably contributed to some of the damage on the bar. But I'm honestly not sure if that just got hot or what ate those rails. I don't know. Pretty bad. So bar and chain are going to be, they're going to need to be completely replaced. But the rest of the saw, I think we can get there. So, Sal, I'm going to go ahead and do what I can do, have you ship me that starter. And folks, that's an example of when you get a fresh saw in, just kind of take stock of what you got. You know, if I just dove right into the carb rebuild and say, you know, the coil couldn't be recovered, or, you know, there was a bunch of parts missing and I didn't verify all of that, it's possible you can spend money on something that you maybe don't want to spend, not knowing that something else is jacked up. So it's helpful to try and get an idea up front before you start working on stuff. So next time you see this saw, with any luck, we'll be doing a test run. Okay. I don't like doing what I did there, but I didn't have a starter of this style, so I was able to use the decompression valve and actually start this with the drill. I'm not a fan of doing that, but didn't hurt anything, and I kept my fingers way the hell away from there, and I was actually wearing a pair of safety glasses too, just in case, because you don't know what's going to happen. With a starter in place, if a piece of fin breaks off, one of these pawl springs, any of that stuff breaks, it's going to be contained in there. Here, it's wide open at whatever RPM it happens to be running at. So, sounds like it's running pretty damn good. Obviously, the oiler is working quite well, which is a thing. You know, they do. So, yeah, baking the coil definitely did the trick on this one. There was nothing really wrong in the carburetor, so you know that was just kind of a check it out, make sure everything's good. This fuel hose is definitely a nice upgrade here. So yeah, I am gonna say we're good to go on this one.